I put up 250 videos on YouTube before I even got a dime. In March of 2023, I had just got monetized on YouTube and I had about 7,000 subscribers. Now I got over 370,000 subscribers 2 years later. Why? Because I just refused to quit. You couldn't stop me. When you become unstoppable, anything's possible. For those of
I've been listening to his channel for a long time, and he's very consistent. So if you trying to start a YouTube channel, you're trying to begin your YouTube journey, let's watch this video together. I'm gonna react to it, give you my pointers, but this guy is amazing when it comes up, yeah, to consistency. So let's see what's going on.
you who may be feeling left behind in terms of life or in terms of money, this video's for you. I want to share some things on this video that's going to help maybe motivate you, maybe give you some encouragement, maybe give you some actionable steps and things that you can do or at least think about doing to help pull yourself out of this bad place or this feeling that you're behind everybody else and everybody else is doing better than you, right? Whatever the case, hopefully I give you something to inspire you, something to make you think, okay, well, you know what? I can do it. I feel better after watching this video. Guys, first, it's okay to feel like you're behind. It's sort of a natural thing. If you're feeling like that, you feel like you're behind everybody else, you know, don't fret, don't get upset, don't be mad, don't be angry, don't feel like you're alone. There's a lot of people out here that feel like they're behind.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are dealing with that, especially when it comes up to social media and stuff. When people start to compare themselves to others, like, oh my God, excuse me, he's 20 years old, I'm 20 years old, but he's doing 50 times better than me. Or she's 50 years old, or maybe she's 30 years old, I'm 30 years old, but she's married and I'm not. She have, like her life is great, and you kind of get the point. So I think the first step is stop comparing and evaluate where we at to see how we can move forward. So yeah, I think that's what I had to say on that part. Let's keep watching.
Or like they should be doing more. And I think a lot of that has to do with, social media, because it's easy for us nowadays to see other people succeeding every single moment of the day. All we got to do is pick up a phone, pick up our cell phone. Next thing you know, we see everybody having all this success on our cell phone. Now, listen, if we're all living in 1960, we don't get to see that. We only see the people around us in 1960 or 1980, right? But today, we see TV, the people around us, and matter of fact, for a lot of people, we're paying closer attention to what we see on the social media, on the internet, than we pay attention to the people that are right around us in our own neighborhood, our own block, right? So we have this thing nowadays that's been really pumped up by social media because we can easily scroll and we say, wow, all these people are doing all these good things. And see, we don't really realize that social media is fooling us. It's tricking us. It's tricking our brain.
Yeah, sometimes the things you see on social is not even real. Like you would have a friend and the things she's showcasing on social media is not even what it is in her real life. So that's why sometimes you should not get finesse into thinking, hey, I want the life that they want. Sometimes it's just like most people are pretending. It's not really what it seem it is. Like you would see the perfect relationship on social media and turn around when you get to know the people, it's just like, oh my God, what's going on here? So yeah.
Into thinking that this is everybody's life and not realizing we're watching the highlights from everybody's life all in one big feed on our Facebook or Instagram or YouTube account. We're just watching the highlights. We're not seeing all the problems, the issues, the bad debt, the horrible use of credit cards or the student loan debt, or we don't see any of that. All we see is the great stuff that they put on social media, and it's accessible to all of us all day long. So I just want to remind you first and foremost on this video that comparison is the thief of joy. Comparison is the thief of peace. Don't get in the habit of comparing yourself with everybody because it's going to make you.
Yep. Write that one down. Comparison is the thief of all joy, because if you go to the gym, you could only lift 5 pounds your first day. Do that. There's no need to compare yourself to someone that's been at the gym for 6 years lifting X amount of weight. That's an example, but the point is Hold up, somebody at my door? Oh, I thought somebody was at my door. All right, let's keep moving forward. Let's keep moving forward.
You feel like you're more and more behind, but it's just a facade when you look at social media and you feel like and you begin to think that everybody's doing wonderful and everybody is successful and everybody is happy and everybody is just having a ball, right? That ain't true. But our brain thinks it is because we have access to everybody's highlights every single day, right? Just remember that you're on your timeline, right? You are on your own pace. You don't have to compare that pace with everybody else. Now, another thing to think about if you're behind or you're feeling like you're behind everybody else is it's okay to start small, right? It's okay to just take little bitty bites at a time. You want to get started on your wealth building journey or your life journey, whatever you want to call it. But sometimes when you feel overwhelmed because you put so much pressure on yourself, you end up not achieving or doing what you could be doing. But the key is this: small, consistent steps instead of worrying about taking these big old leaps. Just take small, consistent steps on a regular basis and you'll be fine.
My grandparent used to say, baby steps, one step at a time, one day at a time. You know, one day at a time. If you wake up every day, you do one thing, one step at a time. Eventually you will get where you want to go. Instead of like, oh, let me take 1,000 step and miss 50 days. You see what I'm saying? So, baby step and one step at a time.
Fine. For example, something like setting up automatic withdrawals from your checking account into your brokerage account. $50 a week, $30 a month, $100 a month. Small. Just a little step so that every single month, $100 goes into your brokerage account and you don't have to think about it. Goes in there automatic. And once it hits your brokerage account, you can automate it or direct it towards a certain index fund or ETF or whatever. Something small. You don't have to get it all back in 1 year, 6 months, right? Take your time. Maybe you want to pay off one debt at a time, maybe the snowball method, and you just put money towards one debt at a time. And then you take all that money, put it to the next debt. You want to have some small wins along the way. And these small wins that you get sort of create momentum for you as you move on through life and dealing with your money and trying to build some wealth. Small wins over the course of a long period of time, they add up, right? You're looking for progress. You're not always looking for this perfection. And a lot of people are very hard on themselves, right? A lot of people get down on themselves. They want more for themselves. They say, I could be doing more. Look, I'm 35 years old. I could be doing this. And they watch that podcast, and they watch that YouTube channel, and they see that, and they say, I can do more. I want to do more. And I'm saying, relax. Take your time. Take a pause. You're probably doing better than you think, but you strive for progress a little bit every single day, right? There's no 10-point shot in basketball. You're down 10 points, 20 points in a basketball game. You got to get that back like 2 to 3 points at a time. You can't try to get it all back.
That's a very good analogy. There is no 10-point shots in basketball for real. You know, one shot at a time. It's either you get a 2 points or a 3 point. That is an amazing analogy. So if you down 100 points, you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and do one magic trick and everything is fixed. That's not going to happen. You have to basically take it one step. Just like, yeah, goes back to what he said in the beginning a couple minutes ago. One step at a time.
Back in 2 minutes. But you're better off getting it in small chunks. Just worrying about the next shot, the next offensive play. And then on the same note, you got to stop beating yourself up. A lot of people feel this sort of shame and guilt because they think that they're behind everybody else. They think that everybody else is doing great things and they're not doing great things. That type of shame can keep you feeling anxious, keep you stressed out. It can really keep you stuck because you can get into a funk real easy, right? Sort of a depression or get down real easy when it looks like everybody else is doing well and you're not doing well. Look, if you made poor financial decisions in your life, welcome to the club. We're all in the club. We've all done stupid stuff with money, made tons of mistakes with money. But at the end of the day, as long as you do a few things right with money and you don't repeat the mistakes you made, you're going to be fine. The key is don't live in the mistakes you made, right? You're going to make some, but then you got to live life moving forward. Stop looking back at all the mistakes you made and then wallowing in the past. Look, the next day, what's ahead of you is what's most.
Quick question. I just want to know the type of audience that's watching this video. Let's say you had an extra 10, let's say you had an extra $25,000 right now that came in today. What would you do with it? Let me know in the comment section. Type, if I had an extra 25,000, this is what I would do with it. How would you split it up? Would you buy something? Would you pay a debt? What would you do? Yeah, I definitely want to know that. I just want to know the type of audience I have on this channel. Let me know, if you had 25,000, what would you do with it? Starting today, what would you do with it?
Most important, not what's behind you. You can't do anything about what's behind you. Look, don't live in your mistakes for 10 and 20 years, always looking back about what could be or what could have been or where I went wrong. Look, everybody makes these mistakes. Don't let the past define your future. Forgive yourself. It's over. Move on. Look, I talk to myself all the time, right? Even when I'm alone, I'm talking out loud to myself because I realize that, some days the best things that you're going to hear about yourself are the things that you say to yourself out loud, intentionally, on purpose. So speak good things about yourself to yourself out loud. It really works. You're not your mistakes. You are just the person who's learning from your mistakes. That's all. Which takes me to my next point. Focus on what you can control, okay? The economy, the job market, the inflation, the president, your crazy supervisor that seems like they're picking on you at work. You can't control any of that. A lot of things that you run up against in life or with your money, you don't have a lot of control over. So there's some things you do have control over, but a lot of it is out of your control. And it's only going to frustrate you to focus on things that you can't control, right? You can control your spending. You can control what your expenses are every single month. You can control whether or not you buy that car with
There's something he said, like you can't control your manager, your supervisor, the people that's at your place of work. You can't. There's certain things you can't control. I just wanted to also say this, like a couple years ago, I had a friend that was working at the airport, and then the supervisor didn't really like him. And then one time he came to me, he's like, "Hey, I don't think this guy like me. Sometimes he pretends, but he could do anything, and I'm gonna lose the job." And I think he was working there for about like 5 years around those times. And then one day, like I witnessed it myself. There was no work to do, nothing at all. We was just waiting for an airplane to come in, and this guy, boy, the supervisors start giving him hell. Like, hey, I want you to go do that. He's like, okay, cool, I'll go do it. And then the moment somebody else go help him out, since there's not too much work to do, he would actually come and say, I don't want nobody to help him. I want him to do it by himself. And everybody looking at it like, but we're not doing anything. We want to help out. It's like, if somebody help out, I'll take it as disrespectful, as being disrespected, whatever, whatever. And I looked at it, I'm like, bro, it looks personal. That same day, he fired the guy. He fired the guy. And it's just to show you things like that, you are not in control. You see what I'm saying? Like he said, spending your money, you are in control of that. The way somebody else feel, the way your boss feel, other things, you're not in control of these things. That's why we only could take control of the things we can control. There's no need to be frustrated about things that we are not in control of. I don't want to lose topic. I don't want to go off topic, but I just wanted to say that. Let's continue.
$500 down and pay $700 a month for the next 72 months, right? You can control that. You can control what you invest in. You can control your daily habits, your weekly habits around money or around planning for money or managing money, right? There's some areas of your life that you really do control. And if you just get a hold of those things and focus much of your attention on those things, life is going to be better. Because when you shift your focus onto what you can control, that's where you get your power back. That's where you get a feeling of, hey, I got this. I can do this. That comes from the things that you control. Everything that's out of your control is only going to frustrate you, is only going to stress you out. This is why personal responsibility is like a superpower. Because when you take personal responsibility over the things that you control, now you have the power to fix it. Now you have the power to do something about it. Now you have the power to actually change what you've been doing. Develop new habits, start new things, start thinking differently and start acting differently. Those are things that are all in your control. And when you manage those well, that's your power. That's when stress goes away. That's when anxiety calms down because you have the ability to control the solutions. And when you have that ability, you can be unstoppable, right? Like the old saying goes, look, you can't control the wind, but you can certainly control your sails that you put up, like on a boat, right? You can control those and move those and manipulate those, but you can't do anything about the wind, which takes me to this. You got to build a plan for yourself. What is the plan for your life? What is the plan for your money? What is the plan that you've set up? Do you have it written down? Right? Do you have it on a piece of paper, a notebook, or a spreadsheet, Google, on your phone, the screen on your laptop, right? Do you have this plan? What are you working off of? Just a dream or just a thought? Just some aims in your head that you're thinking about you want to do? Where's your plan? And then once you get a plan, stick to that plan. Stay focused on it. Look,
Yeah, sometimes it's way more clear when you know this is what I want to do. I want to save up $100. After I save up $100, I'm going to buy this with it, or I'm going to invest in that. After this, I'm going to move to step 3, step 5, it could be $1,000, it could be 10,000, 100,000, a million, whatever. I'm not sure what your income is, but the point is, I think when you write things down and you revise it every other week, every other day, every other month, it becomes clear and it's easier for you to achieve that goal compared to you just, hey, I think I want to buy a new car next month without you planning and seeing what type of car I want, how much it costs, where am I going to buy it from. Like you have to see things. Like some people say, if you could see it, you could visualize it, you could plan it, it's going to happen. But if you just saying it, then that's something completely different. So yes, I do believe in writing things down. I do believe in making plans. If you do as well, leave that in the comment section. Let's keep moving forward.
your vision is going to help you see what you want down the road for your life, for your money, what have you. Your persistence is what's going to help you get there, right? It's going to help you reach any goal that you have. And then your consistency is going to help you maintain it and keep it, right? When it comes to your money, you don't really have to be some financial expert with all the answers and having, knowing all of the stuff and reading all the books. You don't have to really do all that. You just got to really make a plan and stick to it. Track your expenses on a regular basis by writing down a budget. All the boring stuff, right? Build up an emergency fund, at least a couple of $1,000s right now. Then, pay off some debt. Do the debt snowball so you get rid of your debt, and then build out your emergency fund fully so you feel comfortable with 3 to 6 months or more of money that you can go to in case you need it. And then, invest. Listen, this is a plan. Everybody's plan is different. What you want is different than what the next person wants. But the key is having a simple plan that you follow. It's your plan. Work it. And just be consistent with it. You're doing just fine if you're working your plan. A simple plan that you stick to beats a really fancy plan that you quit or that you don't stick to. And also, hey, you got to make sure that you're surrounding yourself. If you're feeling like you're left behind, you have to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with positive influences. People that can speak positive things into your life or at least add value to your life, right? Because certain people are literally going to stunt your growth. Literally. Certain people that you're around are going to pull on you. They're going to drain you. They're going to be very negative, and they can really stunt your growth where you're trying to go. So I'm encouraging you that, if you feel like you're left behind, try to surround yourself with positive people. You got to make sure that you don't fall for the snake oil salesman, or the person that's selling you a box of Cheerios and calling them donut seeds, or the people that, when you first hear them, you're like, there's something fishy about that person. If you get a feeling that there's something fishy about that person, there may be something fishy about that person. You need to surround yourself with people who hold you accountable, people who are supportive of what you're trying to do and where you're trying to go, people that tell you, look, you don't have to compare yourself, run your own race, and people or financial communities who are working towards similar goals as you. Whether that's people online or whether it's people that you know and get around in person, doesn't matter. But more than likely, you're going to have to cut some people off along the way. If you're feeling stuck and behind, maybe you feel stuck and behind because of the people who you're around on a regular basis that tend to make you feel like you are behind. Now, here's the kicker though. You want to make sure that you don't just totally isolate yourself from people who inspire you. Like, if there's somebody that's at where you're trying to go and they're inspiring to you and they kind of make you want to do better, that's okay. But it's a fine line between that person who's encouraging you and inspiring you to do more and better and the person who makes you feel like you're behind. And some of that is based on your perception. Sometimes the person's just living their life. And because of the way you think, you're jealous. Or the way you think, you have a little bit of envy. And you feel like you're behind because you watch that person. Don't get mad at them just because they're living their life and they're doing the right things and they're growing and getting better and whatever they're doing and to move up in the world. You got to make sure you approach and look at them with the right perspective. And you've got the right motives. If they're motivating and inspiring you to do better, great. But if you look at them and you get jealous, maybe that's on you. But you don't have to do this alone. You can find people to support you. You can find people that will lift you up. And you got to make sure you separate from yourself from the people who bring you down. And it may mean being by yourself for a while. Going.
There's a point you get in life where you getting ready to like move on to the next level financially, emotionally, mentally, whatever it is. Definitely financially and mentally. You have to surround yourself around positive people no matter what. You can't tolerate no disrespect. You can't tolerate negativity, or else it's like a dead weight. You have to be as light as possible in order for you to float. You see what I'm saying? So I definitely understand where he's coming from. There will be a point where you definitely need to focus on you and add positivity around you. Anything negative, and I see sometimes even when people do hold certain people accountable, they don't like it because it's hurting their feelings. You need somebody around you that could hurt your feelings in a positive way. Hey, keep a clean house. If you keep your house dirty, it's gonna, it's gonna mess up your mind where you can't function. Like, you need people to tell you, hey, don't do that. You're spending too much money. Why did you buy this car when you already got two other cars? Like, what you doing? Sometimes you need people like that around you. But I think some people don't like when someone tell them what to do as well. Accountability is a good thing, but not everyone is accountable. That part I know it's true. But let me know what you think about that little section in the comment section. Let's move forward.
In monk mode and just sort of disappearing for a minute so you can get your own stuff together. And give yourself permission to dream again, guys. Where is that vision you had when you was 10 years old and you wanted to be this when you grow up? Or where is that vision you had when you were 19, 18, 19, fresh out of high school, and you're ready to approach the world and you had so much vigor and energy and strength? Sometimes life can beat you down along the way. I totally get it. But I want you to consider, reconnecting with that part of you that inspired you, or just reconnect with that part of you that made you truly want some things out of life, want something better, want something more, and being willing to do the things and go the extra mile and take that step, go to that class, read that book, go to that conference, whatever it is, dig into that piece of you if you're feeling behind, right? Not just for financial sake, but for life's sake, for relationship's sake, for the sake of your career, or how you want to help other people, whatever it could be, right? It could be, it could be the part of you that wants to travel, the part of you that wants to be that doctor, the part of you that wants to own that home or start that business. Or maybe it's just the part of you that wants that peace from all the noise. I'm here on this video to remind you that all of that is still possible with some intentional focus and the right attitude, right? The positive mentality. And it's going to take some work on your part. You got to do some things. You can't just sit around and think and think and think. You got to get up and do something. You got to make it happen. It can still be done. So you got to dream again. You got to hope again. Look, the poorest person on the planet is not the person without money. The poorest person on the planet is the person who has no hope, no dreams, no vision. I know it's cliche-ish, but it's a true principle. And then finally, guys, is this. This is what I want to share with you. If you're feeling left behind, there's going to be setbacks. There's going to be curveballs. Life doesn't move in a straight line, right? Life kind of takes a twist here, a turn there, and then, we go up a hill, we go back down the hill to the valley, and things get bad, and things get light again. Like, life has all those twists and turns. But as long as you keep showing up, and as much
If life was a flat line, a straight flat line, it wouldn't be exciting. It wouldn't be any growth. It wouldn't be any progress. Imagine if you wake up, everything is just straight. Nothing's going to go bad. Nothing's going to go good. It's just a straight flat line. It wouldn't be you would have been dead. Like just like when you're in a hospital bed when the what they call it. When the thing goes flat, it's just like you dead. There's nothing to live for. That's why it's not a flat line. That's why sometimes you're super happy. There are times we're super sad. There are times we have a lot of money. There are times we have less. There are times, like there's more. It have to be up and down. That's what's gonna help us grow. So it can't be a flat line. We gotta accept the fact. That's why, like in a relationship, you have happy moments, you have sad moments, you have extreme bliss in relationship, and sometimes you have the lowest of the lowest in breakups. You know where I'm coming from? Divorce. So it have to be up and down in order for life to be what it is, according to my experiences at this age. Yeah.
as you can, keep showing out and continue to make progress day after day, things will get better. Life is really designed to work in your favor if you follow certain principles. Everything I talk about on this channel is about principles. And if you just follow the principles that I'm giving you on this video and other videos, you're going to make it. You're going to be fine. Don't compete with everybody else. Just compete with you, the person you were yesterday. Get a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better every day, and you're going to make it. You're going to be fine because these small steps, they compound over time. Just doing the right things. If you know it's the right thing with money, just keep doing it. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't stop and get weary in well doing. When you're doing the right thing with money, keep going. It may take a year. It may take 10 years. It may take 20 years for it to show that it was the right thing to be doing. But you just got to stay with it. You got to keep going. Look, if I didn't keep going, you wouldn't be watching this YouTube video right here. I put up 250 videos on YouTube before I even got a dime in terms of being monetized on YouTube. In March of 2023, I had just got monetized on YouTube, and I had about 7,000 subscribers. Now I got over 370,000 subscribers 2 years later. Why? Because I just refused to quit. I knew that what I was doing was going to help somebody. I knew that what I was doing, I believed in what I was doing and what I could deliver and had to deliver and what people needed to hear about personal finances and life, right? So I just kept going.
When it comes up to YouTube, I know in the beginning of the video I mentioned this would, if you're trying to start a YouTube channel, watch this video. But I think when it comes up to YouTube, is definitely before the editing, the cameras, all that comes. You could record with your phone in case you didn't know. I think the most important thing is consistency. If you have a mentality where you're not consistent, if you have a mentality where you give up super early, it's not gonna work because it might take one video, it might take 200 video, it might take 400 videos before you see real numbers. Some people get monetized where they start making money off their YouTube channel within a month. Some people it takes them 3 months. Some people it takes them 3 years. Some people it takes them 4 years. Now, depending on how fast you want to get monetized, it's all depend on how much time you're willing to put in. I'm sorry, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and give my spiel here since I mentioned this would be about YouTube, but uh it's basically if you are not consistent, if you don't have a vision, if you give up super early, it's just not gonna work. It's not gonna work. So I think the way, yeah, I'm sorry to be so blunt, but like I have people that have YouTube channels and they would upload 100 videos. Of course, it's up and down. They getting little views here and there, but it's not enough to make real money. And they like, yeah, man, I just put out 100 videos. I'm ready to put the next 100 because they know they're gonna make it work and they consistent. They determined to get to that position. You see what I'm saying? So if you just saying, okay, I just want to upload a few videos and see how it's gonna go, don't do it. You're gonna waste your time. You're going to waste your time. You see what I'm saying? You have to really say, hey, and I'm glad you watched this entire video because in this whole video, what this guy kept on saying is that, hey, you need to be positive. You got to remove negativity around you. You know, you have to stop comparing yourself to others. You see what I'm saying? Like, focus on you. If you believe it will happen, I strongly believe it's true. And I'm glad you listened to the entire motivational talk to get to this position here where I'm telling you this. In order for you to do YouTube, you have to be strong minded. And guess what? The moment you get to a point where you start reaching your heights in terms of you start getting a lot of views, you start making money, guess what start to happen? Negativity. What do I mean by negativity? You're going to find people that likes you, you're going to find people that don't like you. You're going to find positive comments and you're going to find negative comments. You can't say, "Oh my god, I can't believe he broke my heart. Look what he said in the comment section. I'm not going to continue." Now you in your bed crying or you feeling bad. You got to have a tough skin. You gotta have a tough mentor and a tough skin where you just look at it and be like, thank you for your comment and thank you for watching, and you keep moving. Period. You can't take it personal. You have to have a tough mentor, and when you start getting this money, you also have to understand. Excuse me. If you're making 3,000 a month, 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month, even $1,000 a month, every single month you're not going to get the same amount of money. So you got to save for rainy days. You see what I'm saying? You have to save for the rainy days. Let me repeat that. You have to save for the rainy days. Okay? If you have to put aside 3 months, 6 months, even a year worth of backup bread mean money, backup money somewhere, you have to do it just in case. Don't expect, oh, I just got $1,000 check, I'm about to make another 1,000. You probably make 20,000 the next month. But just like that, you might only make $200 the next month. That's why, like, just to give you an overview, not so I won't keep this video too long, this is what you need to understand, right? I see a lot of videos on how to start a YouTube channel, what to do, all that extra. When it comes up to YouTube, you got to figure out what do you want to do? What do you want to make your videos on? Then you got to say, let me go ahead and put out my first 100 videos. It doesn't matter if it's perfect. If it's not perfect, you just got to go. The second key, impressions. There's something in the YouTube analytics when you, if you like this video, I'll do a video where I showcase everything about YouTube, where I can show you some stats on other YouTube channels that I have, right? And in your analytics, all you need is impressions. How many people YouTube is putting your videos in front of. Once you get a large numbers of impressions, all you got to do is fix your titles and your thumbnails. Boom. That's another trick. Once you get monetized, don't only depend on making money with YouTube AdSense, which is the way YouTube pay us, right? No, you could do other form of things. Sponsorship, affiliate marketing, sponsorship. You could sell your digital product, your physical product. I'm thinking that's why I'm closing my eyes because I'm trying to process my brain. Affiliate marketing, promotion, excuse me, sponsorship. You can do digital product, physical product, sell T-shirts, sell whatever, or sell whatever, anything physical, digital. It could be online courses, it could be templates, it could be anything. And I think there's other ways you can make money too with YouTube. I'm not thinking right now. But the point is, when you start doing it, eventually it's gonna take off. It will take off. There's nothing. If you put a lot of pressure into something, eventually it's going to give up, explode. That's just the way it goes. If you put a lot of energy toward one thing, and that energy is building a channel, hey, I'm going to do it and do it and do it and do it until I win. You can't fail. I know in the beginning I say this whole thing would have been about YouTube, but the most important thing when it comes up to YouTube, I want you to know, it's called mindset. Mindset. If your mind is not ready for the challenge, it won't work. But I'm going to stop this video here. Leave anything in the comment section how you feel. If you want me to do something else, if you want me to create more vids like this. But I really wanted to talk about that part. All right. Thank you for watching. I am gone.